done. I went on a run and beat all the odds and got even again. Watch what you say, I'm not. More than a game, no goals, I'm bringing my game. All of that talking just sound like a show, I'm just letting you know that I'm not entertained. You hear the crowd, they screaming my name. I got the stadium going insane. Done with the talking, it ain't no discussion. You started, I finished, put me in the game. Put me in the game.
This is a special presentation. Our tribute to the coach, the John Madden Legacy Game. I'm Brandon Gaudin here to take you through the proceedings. And coming up, one time for old times. What do you say we play some football as we are underway from Oakland in the John Madden Legacy Game. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. So it's the NFC stars who will get the ball first. And, Charles, as we alluded to, we've got a different era of coach on each sideline. So the man coaching this NFC squad, we'll call him Young John Madden. This is a coach who was trying to establish a foothold in the NFL and on the cusp of doing it very successfully.
Yeah, you think back to that period, those early days as the coach of the Raiders, the late 60s in the AFL and then in the NFL in the early 70s. Coach was a guy who was ahead of his time. The Raiders were one of the first teams to have mini camps, one of the first to film practice, because he wanted to practice coaching as much as he could. And his teams, they were successful right from the start of his head coaching tenure.
So as we mentioned at the top, let's take you through the life of John Madden. And, you know, it's very fitting that we're here back in the Bay Area, not just because John's so associated with Raider football, but also because this was where he spent his formative years.
Yeah, he grew up over in Daly City with his buddy John Robinson, who would also become an NFL head coach. And he played his high school ball at Jefferson High, eventually wound up playing tackle at the University of Oregon, and later Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. Played well enough that in 1958, he was a 21st round draft pick of the Philadelphia Eagles. That's right, the draft had 30 rounds then.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. From the gun, it's Favre.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. He couldn't get away there on third down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12.
And that sack there, that likely brings out the field goal unit, so they might have to settle for 3 here on their opening drive.
They did some nice things getting things started there, moving the ball downfield, but taking that sack on third down, it lets the air out of the momentum balloon just a little bit.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over. And it's a big kick, but now if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on third down. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They stay on the ground with Allen. No, they stop him right where it all started. No gain on the play there. Nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. On is the Hall of Famer Ray Guy to punt this away on 4th down. And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. The offense for the NFC ready to get their next drive started. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Close. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And he is going to bring this one back. A fumble return for an AFC touchdown. But that's got to be so disappointing for a defense. You force the fumble, think you got a chance at a turnover, and instead, not only do you give up the football, you also give up a touchdown as well.
Yeah, you just think to yourself, you've done all the hard work, right? You forced the fumble. But when they didn't come up with it, I think they relaxed a little bit or maybe lost their focus as well, and it ended up turning out to be a touchdown against them.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. Ready to begin their next drive here, the NFC offense. On first down, Favre. He'll buy some time right. Oh, he'll look downfield for Kittle. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And they finally put it into this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37. They exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision could get skewed just a bit. And sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball. And that one was picked up.
1 quarter in the books at the Coliseum. What a day. It's the AFC Stars with the early lead. This is the John Madden Legacy game on EA Sports. And this one complete to Reed. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. But Charles, you mentioned Coach was a 21st-round draft pick back in 1958. It was the Philadelphia Eagles who selected him. But unfortunately for John, knee problems, they just continued to dog him. He was hurt in his first training camp. Actually never saw the field as a player in the NFL. But it was still during his time with the Eagles. You and I were talking about this before going on air, that you could start to see the light bulb going on for what his career path might entail.
And it went on in a big way, didn't it? Because while he was rehabbing his knee, he started to spend a lot of time breaking down film with the Eagles with quarterback Norm Van Brocklin, the future Hall of Famer and future head coach in the NFL. Remember, Norm Van Brocklin coached with the Falcons. He coached with the Vikings. And was there during that time. I think Coach Madden realized his love of football and love for teaching, combining all that together, and that meant being a football coach. So in 1960, began his coaching career at a small college south of San Luis Obispo called Allen Hancock, and then later at San Diego State University under another legendary coach, the guy who could throw it around pretty well, Don Coryell.
Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
The offense for the NFC ready to get their next drive started. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
7 yards there and a first down. On the draw, here's Sanders. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
And Charles, you know, it was in the early 1960s that a young John Madden.
67, Brandon. Al Davis hired Coach Madden to be a linebackers coach. Remember, 69 at the age of...
And how about this, a fake? And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off.
There are times to run that fake, and there are times to not run it, and this
chance to. What a short field that you turn the ball over to the other offense.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Brady. Caught by Allen.
Time to decide how you're going to make your Madden NFL 23 debut.
Bigger, better, petty, don't matter. As the teller, I pray to God they rather tattle. Hey, what's a rapper? I started off that, now I'm better. I get capital. I help my people to get cheddar. I do business. Look here, stay out my business. I'm so iceberg slimish, stainless, not a blemish. I should have been to prison. Don't boy remorse, no cases pinned. I got the rolling flooded, soaking wet, but ain't been swimming. I'm the man now, ain't I? Work a plan now, can't I? I remember hated a player. I remember when you lame player, hated a player, now the same lame player. They call a player male. What you talking that's funky, about my face. Not that, that might give you life advice. Get some money, 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 get some money. Let's go. I am the great. You seen the making of a star, they hear my name and remember me. I am the great. Just let the record show that I said I'm